5 seconds
Hello,
remaining.
hello, hello. Welcome back. It's been a while, but we're live. No delay. Got some Rain League, and we have what are the teams? It's Clockwerk Orange versus the Atomic Bombers. So over on the Atomic Bombers, currently their team name is Khan, but we got the notorious Nico Yazawa, and over on Clockwork Orange, we got the Captain Drabs, drafting against his opponents. Started with a little bit of a delay because I had to excuse myself for a moment right before the game started, but over down on Clockwork Orange, we got started with the Tuskar Crystal Maiden. The Tusk can be 3, 4, or 5, even a 2. And I've also seen some crazy Pause 1 Tusks running about as well.
5 seconds remaining.
I only have one monitor, so I have to open up Twitch on my phone. Hold on, this is really embarrassing. Excuse me. Well, since we're live, we have to pull up the Twitch chat. That's TikTok. Twitch. Let's see here. You know what? I might not have the full setup that I want, but I am resourceful if nothing else.
5 seconds remaining.
Come on.
Dire team ban.
Ah, here we go. Alright, got Twitch chat pulled up now. Alright. And then over on the side of Atomic Bombers, we have the Death Prophet Tiny start. With Death Prophet and Tiny, I imagine that the Death Prophet's going to be the core and the support will be Tiny, just because I find it hard to imagine that they would draft both of their cores in the first phase, and Tiny functions much better as a support. If you just look at, the Death Prophet Tiny in isolation, the Tiny just has to get a blink and literally just rush Ags 100% of games. And I see these Tinies get, like, the Yule Scepter and their 4 staffs, but, like, it's so silly. It's ridiculous to me. Like, literally with a Blink Dagger, Brown Boots, and an Aghanim Scepter, the full duration Tree Toss, not Tree Toss, but Tree Barrage does, like, 1800 physical damage. It is obscene. And you get a Crystallis, and that gets amplified to like 3600. It's so ridiculous. So maybe you want to get mana boots along the way to give yourself some more sustained, bigger mana pool, but the Tiny scale into like a straight core so easily. It reminds me a lot of like a Marcy, but there's a lot more utility in the Tinies. So the ban phase is wrapping up now. We're going to be transitioning into the second pick phase.
Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I do question if Death Prophet's going to be offlane or mid. I've been in my ranked games personally, I've been seeing a lot more offlane Death Prophets compared to mid Death Prophets, but we're circling back to a pick on the side of Clockwork Orange. So I'm very, very excited to see what they pick up here.
5 seconds remaining.
I'll be able to, get a lot better feel for their draft once I see the majority of their heroes that they pick. Going into the reserve time a little bit. Trying to think of what's popular these days. Snapfire is decently popular.
Radiant team pick.
Dawnbreaker, let's go. Okay, so even though I love Dawnbreaker support, I'm absolutely flying through the ranks with Dawnbreaker support right now. despite what I've managed to do with it, I know it's still not that popular as a support, so it would not surprise me if that is going to be the Tusk 4 Dawnbreaker 3. But we'll see, we'll see. You know, I feel like Rain League is pretty notorious for having the most outlandish picks. Over on the side of Atomic Bombers, they pick up the Lion, so it's almost like they're prepping for some instant disable. Maybe picking the Lion to defend against, like, an anti-mage or something like that. I'm pretty sure the Lions are also pretty good against the Nagas, because if you get the, oh, I'm not sure if it's just the Shard, but there's some way online. I don't play the hero enough. There's some way online to get, like, multi-target mana drain plus spell immunity, and you get, like, insta-gib illusions with that. So, the Lion does deny pick a couple of the more popular cores these days. It also kind of blocks the Phantom Lancer as well, since the Phantom Lancer is kind of the same vein as Anti-Mage, where that Blink Hex combo that the Shadow Shaman Lion share is pretty potent. And Atomic Bombers pick up the Pango. I do not see a Nico hero yet. I imagine Nico can play Tiny Death Prophet or Pango, but I know that none of those heroes are exactly like his quote-unquote specialty heroes. But the Clockwerk Orange, they see 4 heroes on the side of the Atomic Bombers, and what do they pick up? They pick up the Puck, a great pick against the Pango. Unless Pango BKBs, I don't think he could roll, or I think he stays leash before he breaks the leash. So if he wants to roll while he gets coiled, he has to BKB, break the coil, and then he could roll afterwards. Bloodseeker was still in the pool, so Bloodseeker also could have been a pretty good answer, but maybe if they had one more good Bloodseeker, or one more hero bad against Bloodseeker on Atomic Bombers, maybe Clockwerk would have considered the Bloodseeker, but I think Puck is a perfectly decent way to address that. See the Ursa ban. So, I'm not gonna lie, looking at the Ursa ban, that informs me that they have not picked their pause 1 yet. So from the Ursa ban alone, I'm expecting the Pango to be mid, Death Prophet offlane, and they're setting up to pick their pause 1 here. And then down here for Clockwerk Orange, I think it's all but guaranteed they're also trying to pick their pause 1 as well. Man, what would be good here?
Radiant team pick.
I was gonna suggest the Spectre potentially. The Lena's out, Razor's out, Spectre's out. I feel like some of the super cringe pause 1s that were so staple for a long time, like your Naga Sirens, those are kind of fading out of style these days. So a lot of the popular pause 1s aren't there, so we'll have to see. Only 5 seconds left. They snap in their pick. It's gonna be the Terrorblade. Okay. Not a lot of physical damage, or not a lot of magic damage on the side of Clockwerk Orange, but they do pick up the Doom, and the Doom, I believe, is a pretty good answer to Terrorblade, because Blink can slam the Doom on him. Nico is playing the Death Prophet, so I assume Nico is going to be going mid on that Death Prophet. And I guess it's going to be a Doom pause 1 maybe. I'm not super familiar with the team with who's playing what on the side of Clockwerk Orange. But let's talk about the support matchups. We're gonna have a Tiny 4, so it's gonna be a Tiny 4 versus a Crystal Maiden. That's gonna be the Dawnbreaker versus the Lion, I assume. The support duo is most definitely weaker on the side of Atomic Bombers. The Tiny's pretty weak in lane. the line is weakened lane compared to a Crystal Maiden Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is just an all-rounder, stellar, just lane securing support. And the Crystal Maiden can pump out a lot of damage, but at the same time, it is super, super vulnerable if she gets kind of like, you know, the opponents can get on top of her. So positioning is super crucial when you're playing the Crystal Maiden. But once the game starts and we see the exact what exactly the lanes are going to be, I'll be able to, you know, give a little more analysis. I'm just a little confused on Clockwerk Orange. It's going to be very interesting to go the Doom as a pause 1. What is he going to rush? A Radiance? Which I guess could be good against the Terrorblade, but the Terrorblade's going to be able to make so much space. If you don't go, like, just normal right-click on the Doom, like, Doom isn't really even good if you just go as a right-clicker on Doom. You almost want to go that, like, magic, like, Shiva's Radiance shenanigans, but then, like, who's actually going to, like, hit buildings and threaten buildings on the side of... Clockwerk Orange.
For battle.
So it's going to be a pause 3 Dawnbreaker, pause 4 Tusk, and it is going to be the Doom 1. Okay. So yeah, here's the thing. As much as I think in a vacuum, the supports should be able to carry the early game for Clockwerk Orange, but I am a little worried about, like, what are they going to do? Like, if they do garner some momentum, if they come out of the laning stage on top with a net worth advantage, like, how are they going to threaten towers? Like, unless Dawnbreaker rushes the Deso, but then Dawnbreaker is going to be rather vulnerable, having, like, potentially, like, just treads in a Deso.
30 seconds
However,
to battle.
This is going to be a tough lane. I think, unfortunately, I'm the most uncultured swine in the world, so I need to give our lion friend here a nickname. What could be Lion's nickname? The Chosen. So, the Chosen,
The battle begins.
he's in a tough spot. Like, Tusk can, that's risky. If I was the lion, I would suspect he might have planted a ward there, but here's the thing. Tusk can close distances better than almost any other support in the game. Lion is another one of those heroes where he has a little bit of more, you know, defensive capabilities if he gets, you know, kind of collapsed on. He can throw out the Earth Spike, but, I mean, if the Tusk, Dawnbreaker both roll on top of him, he might be just kind of dead meat, and the Terrorblade's also going to be very, very vulnerable through that as well. The Crystal Maiden leaving the Doom here to be kind of astray here on the first wave. He's doing his best to manipulate creep aggro, and the Tiny's doing a very good job of contesting the Doom's farm. While there's no support there to back him up. So Nico is playing offlane. I'm not sure if Nico plays offlane for this team or if he is just playing it for this game, but time will tell. I'm surprised. Okay, so the Dawnbreaker has not used mana yet. Like, I get you want this tower to push into you, but, like, now all of a sudden the tower's literally, or excuse me, the wave is literally, like, getting hit by your tower now, and you haven't thrown out your hammer once. Like, you probably could have recouped like 40 or 50 mana if you just used your hammer once when you're level 1. Like, I do like the combo that he comboed there, you know. As soon as he hit 2, he made an aggressive move to combo his hammer with the Starbreaker, but, like, as soon as you get to lane, throw out your hammer, just get the damage in. So that way you're not kind of, like, missing out on 50 more mana that you should have right now. I'm going to be very curious to see the second point that the Crystal Maiden gets. The Crystal Maiden has just tremendous kill threat if you get the first point Crystal Nova, second point Frostbite. But a lot of these support players still like in that Arcane Aura. Like, if it's a very passive lane where... But then again, like, if you're a Crystal Maiden, you shouldn't be playing the lane passive. An excellent pull by the Crystal Maiden, I must say. I believe that this Heartbeat Camp should be able to kill this creep wave, which is a big boon. An excellent pull to split up the lane creeps there. Nigo's having a very good time top. Currently sitting at the top of the CS. Tusk is making a movement. I do like this movement from the Tusk. He's playing away from the Dawnbreaker when the wave is collapsing into his tower. He's going to secure the bounty. I would maybe like to see the Tusk make a rotation mid. Since the Dire wave crashed into the tower, that means it's going to slingshot back in favor of the Puck. And look at this right now. This would be a phenomenal rotation for the Tuskar. So if he was paying attention to that, it'd be a pretty impactful rotation, I think. But he does opt instead to go bottom, and he's trading without spells against the Terrorblade, and Atomic Bombers do get the first blood. The thing with Terrorblade is starting armor is that he has so much resistance to that physical damage. You really just need raw spells to take him down. And the moment that tag team, I think he has tag team, right? Oh, no tag team. Okay. I bet you if they had tag team, he would have died. I am curious to see if the Tusk will go tag team next. But then again, the tag team is physical damage. I always thought the tag team was either pure or magical damage, but it is physical, so it will be mitigated by the Terrorblade's absolutely ridiculous armor. So the Crystal Maiden does go the second point in the Frostbite, which I like. That just provides so much more threat from the Doom Crystal Maiden combo that they got. Puck. Here's a water rune, and the first power rune is going to be coming up in about 90 seconds. Man, I think the Radiant play this lane much better, I think. I think the Terrorblade is very, very happy. I mean, this is a lane that should have had tremendous kill threat on the Terrorblade, and he's been getting about everything he's wanted and more. I don't think it's enough, because he's going to have to spike to stun them. There it is. And look at that, just not enough damage. So, oh my word. Oh no. He could have popped the salve, I think, to tank one more auto attack. It would have been expensive, but I think it potentially could have secured the kill on the Tusk. Hard to say, it's hard to say. But he will come back to lane with that salve. So the Pango is 6. Oh, and he's getting a solo kill on the Puck. Puck does not like that. And, you know, like I said, I was really expecting the Clockwerk Orange to come out on top of the laning stage, but Atomic Bomber is showing a pretty compelling degree of prowess coming out of the laning stage on top when I don't think they should have. I mean, they have a tiny 4, Lion 5. Yeah, I think the supports could have done a little more on the Dire side. The Tusk getting a kill on the Pango. See, he will like that. Actually opting to not get tag team, which is quite crazy. Quite crazy. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. I'm not a Tusk player. You have a moment of downtime. Puck coming to pick up his bounty runes. Man, and actually, that's insane. Dawnbreaker only has 18 last hits. I mean, considering how often this lane has literally been at his tower, I would expect him to have at least 10 more than what he has right now. Since the mids are 6, I would expect the laning stage to break down here pretty soon. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to net worth here, as we do see Mr. Nico Yazawa at the top of the net worth on his Death Prophet. Not quite 6, but going to be hitting 6 soon. Before the Doom can hit his 6. So he should be able to pop Exorcism and get at least 1 kill on one of these heroes. Maybe even both, especially if they could use their stuns efficiently. There is the toss, but he's not going to get the toss off. And the Frostbite under the tower. It is going to be a kill on the Tiny. A little too aggressive. And Nico taking a lot of damage. A phenomenal play by the Crystal Maiden to kind of turn around that aggression. And Nico has... Oh my gosh! The Doom on Nico! What a turnaround. What should have been a level 6 before the Dire turned into the Dire hitting 6 first and getting 2 kills on those 2 heroes that they're going up against top. We are going to see a rotation from Tiny down bottom. The Tusk with a great snowball to get up, and out of there, and picking the best creep he possibly could have to keep himself alive. Nice play. The aggression from Tusk forcing the Tiny rotation, and now Tiny's kind of in a jam here. He TP'd bottom, and now he's stuck bottom when I imagine he doesn't necessarily want to play bottom. Doom is very happy to use the Doom to secure that kill on the Death Prophet, but Death Prophet is going to be 6 now, and she's going to pop the DP ult to try and take this tower. It is going to be a lot of damage on the tier 1, but is it enough to take it? There's one fort right there. We do see the Tusk rotating in. I don't know if they could go on this. They need a lot of damage to kill this Death Prophet. There's a lot of Spirit Siphons available too. They whiff 2 spells on the Death Prophet, so that's a guaranteed no-go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Nico is totally happy with this. Nico sees those 2 spells just absolutely whiffed, and they still charge with absolute reckless abandon, and Nico might even get a triple kill here. The Pango is here. He has roll available, but they don't want to commit the roll just to get a measly Tuskar. We do see 4 heroes top on the side of the Radiant. Or, excuse me, 3 heroes top. I would like to see the Lion rotate up here too. Unless Lion is down there hitting the last hits. Getting the last hits. Okay, so they do go on the Tusk. There is the Snowball. Do they have enough? A great play by the Pango to secure the kill on the Tuskar. Does Nico have any more Spirit Siphons? Oh my gosh, there's so much just CC coming out from the Pango, saving Nico's life, and they get a turnaround kill on the Dawnbreaker. Another huge swashbuckle on the Crystal Maid. The Tusk, or excuse me, the Doom's gonna go down too. And what a phenomenal fight coming out from the Radiant. This is clinical. From the Atomic Bombers, absolutely just self-identifying as gamers in the face of Clockwerk Orange. A fight that should have been nowhere near as poor as that was for Clockwerk Orange turns out to be just that poor. There's still only 1 Spirit Siphon for Nico on the Death Prophet, but the Snowball interrupting the Starbreaker. That could have been enough damage on the Death Prophet, and what was a disaster extrapolates into, I don't even know, what's worse than a disaster.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know, a decimation? What started as a disaster turned it into a decimation? But that's not even the final level. There's like one more tier to this. What started as a disaster that turned into a decimation turned into the end of times. Can the Dire even come back at this point? That is such a profound net worth swing for the Atomic Bombers. Just blunder after blunder coming out from Clockwerk Orange. They're gonna have to really sit down and really think about what exactly they're doing here. They have all their ults available. Tuskar still is not level 6 though. Nico is isolated up here, but has 2 Spirit Siphons. If they can blow her up before the Spirit Siphons get off. Oh no, the mechanism though! Is there enough damage? The Crystal Maiden ulti, it is enough to bring down the Death Prophet, but at what cost? It cost them everything. And yeah, you know, the Death Prophet's dead. I mean, Nico did have his ultimate available, so that is a boon in and out of itself. But man, having to blow the Crystal Maiden ultimate there was very, very expensive from the perspective of resources. The Dawnbreaker ult coming in to an attempt to secure the kill on the Pango, and it is enough. There is the finger. It's enough to bring down the Dawnbreaker. It is. And Lion does get the finger stack as well. The Terrorblade coming in for this fight, but then there's a Death Breath ultimate. He says, I want to fight this because I guess take a tier 1 mid tower right after this. The tiny toss, the puck, they have enough stun and disable to bring down the puck as well. Nico is running away from the tier 1 mid tower, which he would, in a perfect would like to really secure with this Exorcism. But now his Exorcism is going to disperse here before he can even get any hits on this bottom tier 2, I think. He's really trying to get hits on this bottom tier 2, but bro, not a chance. Like, this is some copium shit right here, rich homie. Like, literally dissipates the moment the creeps get there and break the back door. I think I would have liked Nico to secure the tier 1 mid instead of chase the Tusk with his Exorcism, but I mean, it's a give and take. It's a give and take. The Tusk only just hit his level 6, so he is a poor, poor boy from a poor family, risking his life for these monstrosities. I'm not sure if that's how the lyrics go for Bohemian Rhapsody, but there is a lot of damage coming out on this dire tier 1 mid, though. But man, the Pango already has his ult back up. And Doom is atop of the net worth, but take that with a grain of salt. It is a Doom with a Midas and Devour, so I don't think he's nearly I don't think Doom nearly has the net worth disparity that he would ultimately want to have, you know, with just how much this, you know, gold intake, that he could achieve here. What's the audience saying?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The 3 Aegises, thank you. Catastrophe. That is an excellent word. So that whole series of unfortunate events it was a disaster that turned into a decimation that turned into a catastrophe. Now it makes me question how good of a word the decimation was, but nonetheless. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to start puffing on some copium here. If the Dire don't start making some plays that I'm more compelled by. Another kind of whipped Dawnbreaker hold. I don't want to say it, but that Dawnbreaker hold didn't really do a whole lot. And Dawnbreaker has absolutely no gold. I mean, Dawnbreaker on the side of the Dire here for Clockwerk Orange is literally just oh my gosh. Oh my god, my eyes. I need a napkin. My eyes are bleeding. I need to pat the blood away. Oh my word. Yeah, I mean, the Dawnbreaker is just a glorified pause 4 at this point. I mean, rich homie Dawnbreaker, God, please, if this is not like a full item on this courier, I'm gonna have to pull out my 100% raw, unadulterated copium, and it's an ogre axe. Okay, so. Alright, audience, I need some help here. So, Winter Soul, this is Rain League. There's 2 divisions in Rain League. In Rain League, there's the Nimbus Division and there's the Cirro Division. In Nimbus Division, there's 8 teams. In Cirro Division, there's 4 teams. So, if you are mid-MMR like Legend Crusader, join Nimbus. There's 8 teams. It's pretty healthy. The admins are trying really hard to get more teams to join the Cirro Division, but there's only 4 teams right now. But there's a big Roche fight going on, but to no one's surprise, it is very, very favorable for the Radiant. The Pango is very low, and the Pango does go down. A very good kill for the Dawnbreaker. He really needed that, but he still goes down in the end. But despite how good it was looking for the Radiant at first, the Dire are making a little bit of a surge here. Despite being down 6k net worth, the Dire are putting together a little something until they guzzle all the gas in the gas tank, and now they better make some
Radiant's bottom tower is under
disengagement
Dire's top
maneuvers.
tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's winter. Which winter? I literally know 3 winters, so saying that you're winter literally means nothing to me. So I have real winter, I have real winter, I have fake winter, and I also have the winter that I've been queuing into in my solo ranked pups who wants to be my friend. So you can literally be any of them. So Doom does pick up his BKB now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But still, what's a BKB? I mean, look at this. TB is absolute juice lord. Like, this man is literally just like dripping with power. Like a like Doom pops BKB. Even if he dooms this man, like the TB can literally just metamorphose. Or if he dooms after the metamorphosis, the TB just Lakad Togs and just literally just eats the face of Doom, just right in his face.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You know, Timbu,
Radiant structures are fortified.
here's the thing. A little off-timed by the Tiny, unfortunately. Oh, but really good. No! It was such a good Crystal Maiden. No, that was the copium I needed, but a miracle. The Rapture, literally the Rapture cut across the sky, and the beacon of holy light, the moment of respite, the turnaround was there, the glimmer of hope, but Lion straight from hell there, kapow! Just literally just close the Rapture right before our eyes, and the game is now looking bleak as ever.
Dire's middle tower
Wow.
is under attack.
There's so much potential there.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Thanks.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So let's put together some hypotheticals. What needs to happen here for a dire comeback? The Dawnbreaker's farm might be the cause of my irreversible, debilitating clinical depression. But that's gonna be the real tough thing to kind of overcome in my hypotheticals here. So, and Doom is also nowhere close to the Ags. I could really puff on some copium if we see the Doom Ags. A very swift blink away from the Lion. So maybe the Dire smokes all 5 of the Radiant kind of clump up into a ball, and they're like, we win, no problem. They walk up the high ground as a clump ball. All of a sudden, from a distance, 5-man snowball, all the Dire heroes, and the 5-man snowball hits on all 5 of the Radiant heroes, where there's no BKB on Crystal Maiden though, so this is a really, really tough sell. There is a team fight going on though. The Doom did pop the BKB, but he pops BKB and literally just auto attacks, doing basically no damage, and now he's running away like an absolute beta fish. There is the Yules to cancel, and man, I think we might just have to look forward to next game here. I'm on Timbu's Bo. I think they might have to have like power go out or something on the side of the Dire.
Dire's top tower Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower
So
is under attack.
here's the deal.
Barracks are under attack.
The Dire having the composition to kind of get off to an early lead, and they don't get off to the early lead. The Dire showing quite a bit of prowess and a lot of the knowledge, skills, and ability when it comes to elevated Dota performance. A lot of knowledge, skills, and abilities that the Dire did not demonstrate. So I think we might need to see some real bona fide cheese coming out from the Radiant if we want to see a competitive game 2. Maybe some like Huskar mid, Huskar off lane kind of shenanigans.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Oh, a BM smoke on the part of the Dire. Wow. GG was called. So, I believe this is a best of 3. I mean... So, can I get confirmation from the chat which winter is in the chat? Like, do we have real winter, fake winter, or my random solo queue winter acquaintance? Yes, that is where I live. I mean, the KC is a pretty big metropolitan area, so I'm very, very not Canadian. I am full-blooded American, born and raised, but not proud. Not proud at all. Man, I really need a second monitor so I'm not being all cringe and looking away from... Look at me, I'm literally looking at my phone for Twitch chat. You know, one thing that I've learned, you know, I've grown up, born, raised as a individual of light complexion, right? But one thing that I've learned and truly inspired me is the story of our friend Jamie. Jamie, an individual who grew up, most likely grew up, you know, of lighter complexion. You know, he has undergone a transformation. Now, can someone in the comments tell me about the transformation that our friend Jamie went through? I feel like I can't be the one to say it on a live broadcast, because I feel like somehow, some way, there be some I'll just leave it at that. Hey. uh, I'm not getting canceled either. Like, literally, with, you know, with my new face cam, my Twitch career is just now getting off to a start. I don't want to immediately cancel myself. I gotta stay hydrated. Okay, hold on. There's a difference though, because this is like a broadcast, right? That I like put out on channels. Um, you know, there's gonna be an audience here. You know, let's be honest. If you just randomly stream some, you know, random Dota gameplay, there's not gonna be much of an audience going back and watching that. Okay, so can someone explain to me what Clockwerk Orange is? Like, is that supposed to be a play on words for like Agent Orange from like the Vietnam War? A very um what kind of movie? Tell me more. Can you elaborate? Oh, okay. So it's like, so if it's like playing clock while eating an orange, it's like from like the Food Channel. What what is BB no dollar sign? Someone's gonna have to explain some of this to me. So, one of the important elements about me is that I am white and potentially embarrassingly uncultured. So, all right, can someone put the link in the chat, please, so everyone can kind of follow. Oh no. I really hope Billy put a link to the rapper and not to the special video that was advertised before. All right, here's the game. So
Radiant Team Ben. Dire Team
Clockwork
Radiant
Orange is
Team
not
Ben.
from the hub. Clockwork Orange is actually like a movie. It's not from the hub. Okay, okay. Got it.
Radiant Team Pick.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so Atomic Bomber is banning out the Riki, which makes sense, but they banned out a Pudge. I'm not sure who on Clockwork Orange plays Pudge, but Atomic Bombers do pick up the Tusk, and Clockwerk Orange respond with the Trim Protector. Okay, Trim Protector, okay. Now, what could be a good, like, 1-2 punch here? So, Trim Protector, followed by, what's next? Maybe a Crystal Maiden. Maybe a...
seconds remaining.
A Scurvy Dog Specialty Dawnbreaker 4!
5 seconds
Maybe... I don't know, what are good fours these days? What are good fours? Like, what do I even play as pause for? Clockwerk is like, okay. Oh, Earthshaker. Maybe an Earthshaker could be pretty dope because Tree is such a strong laner. You could really secure the lane, you know, for the core that he goes with. And you could, you know, maybe play a little greedier of a pause 4. Unless, I mean, I see some pretty greedy Trent Protectors, let's be honest, who literally just like run to the off lane, you know, spaz out their little viney bullcrap from the trees, you know, Meteor Hammer creep waves.
Seconds remaining.
I feel like D-Raj has the absolute worst takes. Like, Rubik is trash. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself suggesting that. We do see a Primal Beast. And honestly, between a Tusk and a Primal Beast, is Clockwerk good into that? Clock's good into the Primal. I think if the Atomic Bombers pick one more hero that Clock is good into, Clock could be a very, very compelling option because Clock can really kind of manipulate kind of the areas of a team fight and make it easier for a tree to get off good overgrowths. What is the Primal tech? Is it where they pick, like, Bloodseeker, Rupture, and then, like, Pound for the extra damage? So Clockwerk Orange starting out with a very, very, very compelling first 2 picks here. I love the tree. I love the Leshrac. Both pair very, very well. And they follow up with the Viper. Poggies? Is this... Can I get some pogs in the chat? The Viper follow-up? Like, imagine if Kelly... Imagine if Kelly was playing the Viper. This game would be over.
5 seconds remaining.
So, on a real note, what do they do about this? So they have, hold on, time out. Well, think about this. They have a Trim Protector, Leshrac, Viper. Right now, the Atomic Bombers have a Tuskar Primal Beast. Primal Beast Tusk, they want to roll in, they want to bulldoze in and get in there, right? That's the last place you want to be against all 3 of these heroes. They do pick up the Skywrath Mage, which is a good kind of juxtaposition away from, like, the bulldozers in there. Like, the Skywrath Mage wants to keep his distance. He will be able to silence the Leshrac, you know, at range. But, man, like, the Atomic Bombers with their first 2 picks really going all in on this, like, get in their face against heroes that literally want you to get in their face. And this Leshrac and the Viper are going to have some giga defenses going on with the Trent armor on the playing field. Ooh, excuse me. So, what is the answer for Atomic Bombers going to be here? Like, so far, like, I was talking about some super cringe, like, ace up the sleeve stuff going on, like Huskar offlane, Huskar mid and whatnot for Clockwerk Orange. But, I mean, I feel like tapping into all the Bloodstone meta bullcrap going on is pretty good here. I do really like the Drow. And they go Omni Knight? So I like the idea. Like, yes. Okay, so okay. Hold on. So
Radiant team banned.
I guess the atomic bombers could have gone two different routes. They could have gone the route of like, oh crap, our Tuskar primal beasts are gonna be going in there. We just need to focus on getting some people outside of the fight. But the atomic bombers are literally going all in
10
on this
seconds remain.
whole get in your face strategy. And is the Omni Knight alone enough
Team banned.
to keep the Tuskar primal beast alive through the absolute onslaught that they're gonna be besieged by? That's the real question.
Seconds remain.
Hold on. Since when is Witch Doctor a Bloodstone hero?
5 seconds remaining.
Literally, D-Raj is out here with Dota takes worse than Bungus's. Absolute cringe, bro. Absolute cringe. So, okay. So, for the last pick, the Atomic Bombers are at a crossroads, right? They're at a crossroads. They pick the Omni Knight, which tells me that they want to go all in on this getting your face stuff. So do they go like... Do they get like a Spirit Breaker? Or do they like draft like a Drow Ranger? The Omni Knight's W does add an absolutely incredible amount of damage to the Tuskar Walrus Punch, but that's not going to mean anything unless the Tusk is a core. So is the Tusk going to be a core here? But even still, like, until Omni Knight gets that Aether Lens, Omni Knight cannot Q. Omni Knight cannot W without being in the coconut range, right? So ignore like the Viper Nether Toxin, the Viper Dive, like the over. Like, never mind everything else. Like literally, Omni Knight's Q and W is literally the coconut range. So if Omni Knight wants to go in and do anything for this Primal Beast Tuskar, he's gonna get his face coconutted until he gets an Aether Lens. Oh man.
Radiant team pick.
So here we are. We're at the last pick. They're at a crossroads. Are they going to do the thing where they pick? Okay, so Drow's out of the pool. There is Sniper. They can go like a Sniper here. Clockwork Orange does not have a great way to get on top of Sniper, except for maybe the Trent Protector. If the Trent Protector, like, you know, sneaks around the back to overgrow the Sniper, like in the back or something like that. I'm pretty sure the Atomic Bombers have been first pick both games, though. First pick and Radiant both games. So I don't know what they like about first pick. They go with the Shadow Fiend, which I will say Omni Knight does like to, even though the Shadow Fiend will not get the damage bonus of the strength attributed by the W from the Omni Knight, he is still a really good W target because you can just W the Shadow Fiend. He can literally just walk up and start hitting buildings
5 seconds
and
remaining.
doing a lot of damage, you know, by doing so. But I really like Clockwork's draft. If the Viper and the Leshrac go Bloodstone build and they get those Bloodstones at good timings, I don't know if the Atomic Bombers have the burst to take down either of those heroes, especially through the Trent armor. And even beyond that thought, I'm also very curious to see what skill build the Trent Protector goes, because like, is Trent gonna go like 4-1-1? Is he gonna go 4-2-0? Or is he gonna go like 1-1-4? I don't play a lot of Trent, but all are valid depending on like kind of how you want to play the hero. And they go Ursa, man. Man, I really like this draft from Clockwerk Orange. The Atomic Bombers showed a lot of adroitness in their Dota plays from the last game. But is it enough to overcome this absolute death ball of a lineup coming out from Clockwerk Orange? It's going to be Mr. Nico Yazawa on the Primal Beast, Lunar on the Shadow Fiend, the Chosen One on Omni Knight Samson, Skywrath, Tommy Ruggs on the Tuskar. Got Drabs on the Tree. Wait, didn't Drabs play Core last game, or am I crazy? Drabs on the Tree, Sergeant on the Leshrac, Jizza. Jizza on the Viper, Alice Sparks on the Witch Doctor, and Ash on the Ursa. A pretty sick Ursa set. Alright. Let's go. Game 2. Get hype. Raise the roof. Let's see if Clockwerk Orange can take down this game 2. Can they defy the odds? I feel like just like Enigma says, I feel like the core precursors of existence in the endless expanse of the universe have predicted the Atomic Bombers to win. But can they defy the very predispositions of reality itself to take a game off the Atomic Bombers?
30 seconds to battle.
Oh no, the Omni Knight. He's in a pickle and he can't drive away from a nickel. Will he be able to get away? Maybe one more auto attack, and the first blood goes to the Leshrac. A huge injection of gold for the mid, and a huge injection of gold for the Bloodstone Rusher.
The battle begins.
Mr. Unhealthy Mangoes, I do not know. I know in Nimbus there's a lot of MMR disparities. I cannot speak to the difference between these two teams, unless someone else in the chat wants to do some investigative research for me. Whew, excuse me. By the Nine Divine. So this isn't... I mean, so they're switching up their lanes because they don't want the Shadow Fiend to be up against the Viper, but isn't Shadow Fiend fine against the Viper? I do like the Omni Knight Primal Beast pairing. That's a lot of like just straight hero synergy, but do you really want... Even though the Omni Knight Viper is a lot of synergy, and I think Omni Knight is one of the best supports in a Viper in the entire game, despite that, is it enough for you to still want to lane a Primal into a Viper when you had a Shadow Fiend that you could have laned it in a Viper? I also really don't like the Omni Knight's build. I, in 100% of instances, always go the Hammer of Purity. I still would have gone Heavenly Grace in the second point, but this Omni Knight literally can't do anything for trading until he gets that Hammer of Purity. And now I'm having this existential dread of the possibility of this Omni Knight going 1 point Heavenly Grace, 1 point Purification by level 2, and not getting any points in Hammer of Purity. At which point, my just debilitating, incomprehensible clinical depression, it's going to turn into something much, much more grave, I will say. Okay, so he does go Hammer of Purity. But he's not using the Hammer of Purity. There it is. Okay, okay, good. Now I can focus elsewhere here. You know, maybe they didn't want to lane the Primal into the Ursa, and I will say the Ursa does probably hate to lane into the Shadow Fiend because I mean, there's so much outgoing damage from the Shadow Fiend, but there's not a whole lot of synergy between the Skywrath and the Shadow Fiend as far as like the hero pairs. That is a kill on the Ursa if he could triple his raises, but they're not going to go for it, unfortunately. There's so much more damage potential if you just triple raise. Like don't raise unless you're triple raising. I think that's typically the way high MMR players play the Shadow Fiend because the compounding damage on each, you know, each raise in succession is so... The damage output is just inexplicable. I really think Omni Knight and the Primal Beast can kill the Viper pretty handedly. Like, if they can't already do it, the level 2 and Trample, they could definitely do it as soon as the Omni Knight hits level 3. I am 100% certain. Like, now, obviously, if they recognize the power, you know, or, you know, if they do or don't, that's one thing. But as a very adept and experienced Omni Knight player, I can say with certainty that they can 100-0 this Viper if they just combo all their abilities, like, right now. Like, even with the tree here, there's no tree armor either, so, like, it's a kill. Like this, they're getting kind of bullied by this. Like, look at this. Dead on the dotted line, just like Riki says. Look, go, do it. Oh, there is the heal from the leech seed. Is it enough? He charges back. Maybe I'm proven wrong. Maybe I'm actually not... I was going to go somewhere with a joke, but it lost me. Maybe I'm actually just a 1600 MMR shitter in disguise. Oh, whoopsie. Mr. Real Winter saving the broadcast. Shout out to Winter. No, wait, hold on. You know, I could be all positive and, you know, acknowledge you for saving the broadcast. Or is my broadcasting not good enough for you? Is the commentary and the experience I'm adding to this not enough for you? Disgusting. Despicable. Unsupportive. Unreal. Oh, holy cow, by the 9 Divine, Lunar Zone, stepping into the face of death. Holy cow, what did he expect to happen there? You know, when I play Valheim, I do everything naked, because, like, I don't play a lot of Valheim, so when I play with my brother and, you know, my brother's friends, I don't want to lose all their stuff, so I just run around and do everything naked. When I run around and do everything naked in Valheim, I expect to die. I don't expect to get a lot done. And I really hope that this Shadow Fiend expected for that to happen once he walked into a creep wave with one creep with a coconut throwing Witch Doctor on the opponent team. You know, we haven't looked at mid at all. How's mid going? The Tuskar is getting crushed. So there's the mid synopsis for you. But honestly, being real, this is a much better start for Clockwerk Orange. The Skywrath Shadow Fiend, they do manage to get a kill on the Witch Doctor level, the level 30 Witch Doctor at that. And they're going hard in the paint for this Ursa. Oh my gosh, the raises! The Shadow Fiend bouncing back, chanting the ult, and forcing the left strike to cancel his TP. Man, he must have heard the echoes of my voice through time and space to, you know, make that comeback play. But shout out to Lunar Zone for absolutely putting the Al Caponing on the Ursa Witch Doctor. You know, actually, I'm talking about how the bottom lane ain't going great for Omni-Knight Primal Beast, but Nico considerably out farming the Viper somehow, some way. I don't know how in the heck that is happening. It seems like, yeah, a little sus. Enrage? Or not enrage, overpower? No, he needs one more auto attack, just barely not enough. His Earthshock is coming off cooldown. If he wanted to be ballsy, he probably could have done it, but he definitely needed his boots, I think, if he wanted to make that play. So probably playing this, you know, playing smart and not going for it in the absence of boots in his inventory. And man, Sergeant absolutely pumping in the gold on his Leshrac mid, not letting the Tuskar get anything. We do see a hasted rotation from the Leshrac coming top, just as the Shadow Fiend TPs. If they could kill the Shadow Fiend here, it'd be huge for Clockwerk Orange. He's still hasted. How much longer on the haste? He does hit the stun. Can they kill the Shadow Fiend? This will be such a huge swing of events. Will this alone secure the kill for Clockwerk Orange? Can they get the kill? The Leshrac's out of mana. He miscalculated. But however, the Witch Doctor is here. There's the Malediction. Can they get him? The Purification from the Omni-Knight. Is there enough damage? How many more pulses? There's 2 more pulses. 1 more pulse that will secure the kill. Okay. Whew. Wow, they do manage to get the Shadow Fiend on the last possible tick of the Malediction. So that is a rather crippling death for the Shadow Fiend. And Nico on the Primal Beast has continued to pop off. Mr. Nico is farming like he's the pause 1. Leaving the quasi pause 1 Shadow Fiend kind of in the dust. But what is Nico doing with the gold? He has he has phase boots, soul ring, and his ult, but he's not able to do really anything with it without a support down here to play around him. Literally, if the Omni-Knight or the Skywrath came bottom, they could probably get a kill guaranteed against one of these 2 cores on the side of Clockwerk Orange, but neither of the supports, neither Omni-Knight or Skywrath, recognizing the power, the raw power, strength, and fortitude of Nico on the Primal Beast to give him the opportunity to get these kills. The Omni-Knight does rotate down here, but do they have the prudence to actually, like, initiate and go for a kill? I sure hope they do. Okay, we do see the mid-Tusk rotation as well. I can't imagine a reality where they don't get some kills here. However, Nico is very low on life. They do see him. So Nico, unfortunately, the Overgrowth catching the charge, and Nico goes down despite the Omni-Knight being there. Despite the triple point in Heavenly Grace, he lets his Nico, not his waifu, but his husband do, letting him down nonetheless. And Nico, I know Nico cannot be too happy with that. Nico, I'm sure, recognizes just how powerful he is here at minute 11 of the game with his CS and his net worth. Like, Nico wants to start going hard in the paint. The supports aren't really giving him the opportunity to do so. He does respawn here. He's instantly going to charge on the Viper. The Viper already using Nether Toxin, so there's not that damage going out on him. He does have the ground pound on Nico, and there's the rotations from the supports finally coming down here. And I really want the supports to stay down here and help and push this tower. I think they could push this tower. Is there a catapult wave? No, where's the catapult? Where's the catapult? Oh no, they just missed the catapult. But even despite this not being a catapult wave, I still think they should stay down here and help push this. So like, they commit the TPs to come down here if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay, so only the Skywrath. But still, like, if you commit the TPs to come down here, you can at least push and force TPs in response. I don't know what rotation they can move from the bottom lane elsewhere on the map that could have as much impact as just pushing the tower, getting damage on the tower, and forcing rotations of the enemy bottom. Like, Nico wants to fight. If heroes TP down here and want to face off against Nico, Nico wants that. Nico is juiced right now. He wants to fight. And there's even a rotation from the Tusker down here. The Tusker snowballs, and that is 100% enough damage to kill. A double stun. Oh my gosh, the coconut! It's not quite enough though. It's a rather puny coconut. I assume it's only 2 points in coconut? Yeah. I don't really like that. I am always an advocate of maxing coconut. But nonetheless. I think that's a pretty premature Omni Knight ultimate, but I'd still really like them to push this tower. If all these heroes rotate away from bottom again, I'd be very, very
Dire's top tower is under attack.
surprised. Like, if you're rotating all these cores down here, like, this is perfect case scenario. You can apply pressure bottom. Shadow Fiend's playing on the opposite side of the map. So it's like the dream situation where, like, you could put pressure, take the tower, win a fight, and make literally, like, an entire continent worth of space for the Shadow Fiend. So even then, despite the stellar laning phase coming up from Clockwerk Orange, we suddenly see a 4K net worth for the Atomic Bombers seemingly out of nowhere. And I don't even know how it got to be that way. I guess Clockwerk Orange kind of like moved their foot off the gas pedal. And the Leshrac is surprisingly a long ways away from the Bloodstone, despite having a very, very good mid lane for himself. And I don't even know what happened between me hyping up Clockwerk Orange and now. But it seemed like one moment they had all the momentum, and now they're really playing passively as the net worth for the Atomic Bombers just continues to extrapolate. That is a good kill. I mean, it's a good kill on the Earth, but man, that is not what our friends over on Clockwerk Orange want. And Nico is one small creep away from getting his Aghanim Scepter, and that's going to be another just tremendous amount of damage. One issue we are seeing with the Atomic Bombers lineup is just a complete lack of tower push, because the fact that this bottom tower is still existing is really just bending my ideation of reality. But here, once Shadow Fiend gets a couple more items, towers will cease to exist very quickly before our eyes. And it looks like they're going to be focusing here on this tier 1 mid, and I just can't see Clockwerk Orange defending this. Like, there's no Bloodstone, and I mean, Viper isn't even going for the Bloodstone. Leshrac is still miles away from the Bloodstone, and Ursa doesn't even have a Diffusal Blade. I mean, despite having a good lane, this Ursa has a complete non-existence of farm, it seems like. You know, Winter, I agree with your synopsis, but I feel like that synopsis is taking the current state of the game into account, which makes sense, but like, if we backpedal a few steps, like, what happened to Clockwerk Orange for them to get to this point? Like, they had the net worth advantage for the first like 7-8 minutes of the game, I feel like, with heroes that could scale, a very compelling composition with a lot of synergy. That's true, that's true. The Omni Knight does deal with the threat of Ursa. And that pick also came long before Ursa. Or maybe not long before Ursa, because the Omni Knight was the 4th pick, I think. So, like, I think it's very easy for us to say all these things, but the reality is like, if Leshrac got, like, a 12-minute Bloodstone, if Viper got, like, a 12-minute Bloodstone, and, like, they hit the timings that should have been feasible for them to hit, a lot of what we're saying kind of breaks down. Witch Doctor seemingly trying to communicate to his team that we need to play away from the enemies, but I don't know if playing away from your enemies is gonna give you an opportunity. Can I draw on the mini-map? I can't draw on the mini-map, but I could draw... Can I draw here? Oh man, I can't draw there either. Okay. That's sad. But you can see my cursor, right? Or I guess even if you can't see my cursor. Like, I don't think playing here in the triangle is necessarily the play. I think if the Witch Doctor's trying to communicate to his team, they're like, we need to play away from them. Playing away ain't playing the triangle. Playing away is like playing right here. Playing right here. Playing right here. And this game is in such a disastrous position for Clockwerk Orange at this point. I really think that these supports, this Witch Doctor, this Trim Protector, literally need to be buying smokes to run and just camping right here and right here. Playing as far away as possible from the positions that the Atomic Bombers want to be playing at right now. Ooh, got the hiccups.
Russia has fallen to the Radiant. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Ursa's a very natural nullifier builder, so Ursa, even though he's going to be the hardest countered by Guardian Angel, he's such a natural nullifier builder that he can, it doesn't really bother him to get nullifier. And I think even though the Leshrac isn't a good, necessarily an easy nullifier builder, like Viper is so adaptable with his items, like the Viper can literally rush Bloodstone and get a second item nullifier, and like the Viper would still be sitting pretty happy. Like, Viper with a Bloodstone nullifier, like, even though it might not make sense in a vacuum, but if you look at the context of the game, like, if I were to look at this game and see that, I'd be like, huh, makes sense to me.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Like, the Leshrac got a 20-minute Bloodstone, and Viper is still nowhere near. Like, Viper only just finished a Dragonlance. Oh, no. This is a bona fide, certified disaster.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
One thing that I need to invest in is like a replica like gas mask, so I could like pull it off my desk and like and like do my
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
copium skits with like a actual gas mask. That'd be pretty
Dire's
funny.
bottom tower is under attack.
And I can't help but feel like we're seeing the absolute atrophy
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
of everything in this game.
Dire's bottom tower is
Or not
under
everything in this
attack.
game, but the atrophy of Clockwerk Orange.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't see a reality where Clockwerk Orange can even put together a team fight that could team wipe them, especially with the Omni Knight on the playing field. The Shadow Fiend ulti was rather far away, but it didn't even need for it to be close for this just to be a complete Al Caponage. And we see a completely whiffed solo trio, and upon seeing that Trip Protector ultimate, I can't help but feel like we're gonna see a GG potentially before this minute is over. Shadow Fiend is almost double the net worth of every single hero on the side of the dire at this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well,
Dire's bottom barracks have fallen.
my prediction of within the minute was wrong, but
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I feel like that 1% there is a little hopium. Are we gonna see the Radiant go to 100%?
Dire's middle barracks have fallen.
They blew everything, and they did able to take out the Aegis. And seemingly, just as I was so excited for Game 2, Game 1 turned out to be more exciting than Game 2. It seems. Oh, okay, okay, Drabs. I see you. That's pretty cool.
Ты вообще тут? Ты вообще тут?
You know what? All right.
Dire's top tower.
I think we need to craft up a hypothetical here. So, does Ursa have a Battle Fury? No Battle Fury. No BKB on Leshrac.
Dire's top
No Ags on Viper. Okay, so my hypotheticals are getting a little more tough. But no Ags on the Witch Doctor. So, okay, so everything is single target at this point for Clockwerk Orange still. So, here's the hypothetical. Double damage Ursa, though. Running away. Can he get away? He is seen by the wards. The wards are still clipping him. Okay, he does get away. Okay, so the Primal Tusk Omni Skywrath will step away and Roshan as soon as his next Rosh is up. The Shadow Fiend, not realizing, will walk up here solo and attempt to end the game. And Clockwerk Orange 1v5 will be able to isolate and solo kill the Shadow Fiend.
Dire's middle tower
The
is
Shadow
under
Fiend,
attack.
you know, when he's by himself, right? Then the others are like, oh my gosh, our Shadow Fiend, he's dying. They'll run from the Roshan pit to the base of Clockwerk Orange in an attempt to save him, but they'll get there too late, but they already made the move to the base, so they'll still commit to a fight anyway. And by happen chance, Clockwerk Orange would not have used
Dire's top tower is
Death Ward, Overgrowth, or any ultimates to kill the Shadow Fiend isolated. So in this hypothetical, the tree will sell his 4-staff brown boots to buy the blink dagger. He'll blink out of the tree's 5-man route. The Witch Doctor will throw the coconut, and the coconut, blessed by RNG, will just bounce back and forth between two heroes, the Omni Knight and the Primal Beast, where he will then maledict the Omni Knight and then full duration Death Ward the Omni Knight to kill the Omni Knight before the Omni Knight can get his ultimate off. At which point, during the meantime, there's the 4-man Nether Toxin on 4 Radiant heroes, plus the Leshrac in the middle of those 4 Radiant heroes, just like pulsing and what's it called? Diabolically edicting all 4, at which point Clockwerk Orange will win the team fight. They'll garner enough momentum to get those items that they need to team fight better, being the Axon Witch Doctor, Battle Fury Ursa, BKB Leshrac, and Axon Viper. And then, all of a sudden, we can go into my original hypothetical idea where there's the blink out of the trees, because at this point the tree already has the blink dagger, right? Blink out of the trees, 5-man Overgrowth with them all clumped together. Ursa BKB blinks in, overpower, full swipage with Battle Fury hitting all 5 heroes. All the while, the Viper flips and dives on all 5 with the Leshrac, you know, going crazy like... I see the reality. I see the reality. And they'll be so clumped up and also blessed by RNGs at the same time. The Witch Doctor Coconut will bounce between 3 heroes and permanently stun lock the 3 heroes without bouncing to any creep or any other heroes besides those 3. So, despite what the haters might say, there is a reality where Clockwerk Orange can come back and win this game. But for Scenario 2 to happen, Scenario 1 still has to happen. And have they taken Roche? No, Roche is still... No, they have taken Roche. Who has the Roche on? Oh, okay, Primal Beast does. Okay, so the first phase of the hypothetical is now disjointed. So I'm not quite sure if there's a possibility now.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack.
And there's the GG.
Dire's top barracks have fallen. Radiant.
Potentially 8 minutes longer than how it should have lasted, but
Dire's core has been
it's gonna be a 2-0. Oh, whoops. I'm sitting here and haven't updated. How cringe. Literally have an overlay and I don't even update it. Hashtag trash streamer, trash caster. So they called it GG, but I guess
Dire's middle
someone on
tower is
Atomic
under
Orange
attack.
must be canceling, unless it was a BMGG? Oh, it was a, was it a, no way, was it a BMGG coming out from the Atomic Bombers? Wow, how absolutely disrespectful. Alongside Lunar Zone talking trash. Even before the GGs, the BMGGs were called. Wow. Atomic Bombers already becoming the villains. The villains of... That might be the most realistic hypothetical there is. That's crazy. Well, all right. If you want a winners interview, what Discord are we going on? Hello, hello.
What's up?
Nico, it's been a while.
Huh?
It's been a while since we've spoken.
Yeah.
So,
Since we played T2L before.
that was a rather crushing 2-0 victory. Were you expecting a easy dub going into the series?
I don't know, we're just drafting good heroes. Lunarcy is just... I said go this profit first game, yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Same second game to Primal and the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just farming and winning, I guess. I don't know, they looks like, I don't know, little weird. This draft, like game 1, Doom, carry, what the fuck is this? Yeah, and
Now-
same to game 2.
That was strange.
Swiper frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just swapping lanes and easy. That's what we need to win, I guess. Like no one Simeon free actually in any league. So it's my secrets.
Now,
Like do you ever see Tech is free? It's time for next drafts.
during the draft for game 2, I saw a lot of potential for Clockwerk Orange's draft. They had a lot of these Bloodstone heroes, and a lot of just like kind of like a death ball aura about them. Now, were you guys worried about their draft? Going to game 2?
I think
Mostly not.
I think when I was drafting for the second game, I wasn't actually expecting anything from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this diffusal on Ursa like for 80 minutes or how much? 20?
Yeah, like 20 minutes. I don't know. After the first game, after we saw their gameplay, because I'm playing with Pink 200 or something like that, and I still we don't feel them. They're just too easy. I don't know. And Dota is too funny to watch. It's just...
Yeah, that's true.
And
at least on these ranks.
Game 2, tell me a little bit of why you chose to swap the Primal Beast into the Viper. Would you rather lane the Primal into Viper instead of Ursa?
Hello. Well, we've had an idea. We wanted to go for Omni Shadowfen bot, but we thought that maybe Primal Beast is going to be fucked versus Ursa, and we just saw, well, I can go top, I can fuck Ursa really badly, and we give Omni bot to the Primal, and he can actually stay bot.
Yeah, that's
that was the
lane.
concept. Yeah, like 50-50 lane. I get a free farm, and I got 5-0 from the lane, and just like got the free farm.
And with Omni, I will never die, at least on lane.
I mean, that wasn't like super idea, but it worked out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't actually think of anything because the game was too easy. We just, I even wrote in the lobby chat before the game, let me finish my beer before we start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, I saw some people text in chat that I was blaming someone, but actually I told that the Lesher is a talented player. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
He
not
doesn't know it's not allowed in the game in the league. At least he said like he's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
he's
not
a
toxic.
talented player.
Well, hopefully your next opponents will be a little more formidable for you both. I'd like to see I would like to see your team to be a little bit more challenged. Because
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know I saw so much potential and from your team, but there just wasn't quite that like bulwark or like something for you guys to really like climb over. It's kind of
Yeah.
a walk.
No, that was just so fucking easy. So.
I think we're fine. Like I like our mate on 4 or 5. I mean, they looks pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
at least in our team.
Well,
So we can draft around it.
gentlemen,
Well,
I appreciate the interview. It was
yep.
a fun series to cast, and I hope you the best in your series to come.
No, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That was very nice of you to give you the interview.
Yes.
By the way, the cast was really good.
Thank
It was
you.
quite funny because
Yeah.
I was just watching your cast in the alt tab while playing some.
That's funny.
And that's at least something interesting in the game.
Yeah. I appreciate it. All right. I will
Yeah, too.
catch y'all later.
GGC.
And with that, we have the winners interview over and my voice starting to get coarse. So I'm going to wrap up this broadcast here. It was fun. I feel like I kind of ragged on Clockwork Orange. I have a lot of friends on Clockwork Orange, so I didn't necessarily mean to rag on them. Perhaps the Atomic Bombers. Hold on. Perhaps the Atomic Bombers, perhaps they had a pretty sizable MMR lead on Clockwork Orange, and I unfortunately couldn't tell that in the lobby since you don't have access to that information when you're just in the lobby with everyone. So that could be one thing. Maybe Clockwork Orange had a stand-in. All factors that could go into maybe them not playing their best. So don't count Clockwork Orange out quite yet. They might have more to show for, but either way, thank you for watching, and I'll catch everyone in my next broadcast of Rain League or whatever league I might broadcast next.